one of my favorite times of the month, which is creating a new TBR for the following month, which in this case it's currently already September. Normally I am creating this a week prior to the end of the month just so I can get really excited for it, but I wanted to film this video so I had to wait until no one was home because I don't like filming in front of people. So without further ado, let's get into the books I want to read in September. As a side note, if you see me looking down, it's because my iPad is down here helping me give you accurate facts about the things that I want to read this month. So don't mind me if you see me glancing down, that is what is happening. First of all, let's go through the books that have been picked for the Grimoire Club, which I mentioned in my last video is the book club between my sister Cass, my brother-in-law Mike, and myself. And I really love the book club because I'm forced, and the word is forced, into reading books that are so far out of my comfort zone. I would literally never touch it with a 10-foot pole because I am a fluffy romance girly. Actually, that's not true. Basically, I don't touch anything that's too adult. So the book club really pushes me out of my comfort zone, which I do appreciate. And the reason for that whole spiel is because Mike has picked Catch-22 by Joseph Heller, which is, I believe, a book set in the war times. Yeah, it is a historical fiction set in the war times, and I believe it's a loose history of where the saying Catch-22 comes from. So I'm actually quite intrigued about this one. What I don't appreciate is how long it is. Actually, it's 453 pages. It's quite long, but I'm hoping it will grip me and keep me entertained because I love a war book, and this is about a pilot or many pilots. I don't really know, honestly, but it is where the saying Catch-22 comes from, and I'm intrigued because it's war, it's pilots, it's historical fiction, and I love all these three things. I don't love war. I love reading about these things, and yeah, I'm really excited for that one. As a side note, he also gave us an option called Kissed by the Krampus by L. Everland, which is an MM monster romance, I believe. Holiday MM monster romance. And he said, pick whatever you want. So that could potentially be popping up in my September wrap up in a month because it is a little bit more up my alley just because it's a romance and it's set in the holidays. But the monster part, I don't know, I'm very intrigued. So this is also like a loose option of it'll either be Catch-22 or Kissed by the Krampus. He's so weird. He literally wrote choose your own adventure. I'm concerned. My sister picked Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelley Van Pelt, and this is a fiction magical realism mystery book about a woman who befriends an octopus. And I only know this because I watched my sister's video, her TBR, which I will link up here or up here, wherever. You get the POV of an octopus, and I think I read in the blurb that she works at the museum and then she bonds with this octopus and it helps her through a grieving process. But the cover is absolutely stunning, and I really do have high hopes for this. I've heard some really good things, so I'm really excited for this one. And I picked The Woman by Kristen Hanna, and a few months ago, I'm not sure which month it was exactly, but I picked The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and it was 5 stars across the board. Pat myself on the back for that one because we absolutely loved it, and I have seen so many people talk about The Woman by Kristen Hanna, and I've been really wanting to get into more of her backlog. I think this one is actually newer. Yeah, this one came out in February this year, and I'm actually so excited to be destroyed again because The Nightingale destroyed me. I love her books as a book club topic of discussion because I think there's so many points and bits to pull at, and obviously she writes about really hard-hitting things and she does it in such an amazing way. So I am so excited for that one. I hope it's 5 stars across the board again because what an accomplishment. And then we know Kristen Hanna is the GOAT if we didn't know it already. Next up, I have my September sister swap. So we have the Grimoire book club, and then my sister and I usually do, I pick a book for her, she picks a book for me, and it's usually something either we've read and we really loved and we want someone to read it. I think I described this last month, but anyway, we really want someone to talk about it, or we aren't sure if we want to read it, so we make the other person be the guinea pig, which is what I did to her this month. And this month she gave me 7 options. I had to read through these very vague options and pick one, and I literally have no idea what any of these other ones are other than the one I picked, because once I picked it she told me what the book was. The option I picked is It's popular for a reason and I need motivation to keep going with the series, which meant I had to add The Awakening, which is book 1 in the Zodiac Academy series. I have heard so many things about this series and I think she's right. It's popular for a reason, and I think the reason I haven't picked it up yet is because it is huge. Anyway, I hope I like it, and I'm quite excited because if we then read it together, that could be a really fun experience, because I'm not sure what book she's up to, but she may be like up to book 2 or 3, and it wouldn't take me that long to catch up with her, and then we could read them as like a fun activity and discuss our thoughts, feelings and opinions, as we always do. Now I want to add a few more books to my TBR. I think that brings me to 4, and I want to have maybe around 8. I think I did 8 last month, and it was quite a good number, especially if I wanted to have a bit of room for mood reading, although I only mood read like 1 book last month, but that's okay. Another book I want to add to my TBR is Daydream, which is the 3rd book in the Maple Hill series by Hannah Grace. That's because I've already started reading it maybe a day ago, so the 1st of September, and I am so obsessed so far. So I added it to my TBR already because I needed something to start in September. So that's what I've done, and I am eating it up already, so I have really high hopes if it keeps going in this trajectory. It's gonna be a highly rated book from me. Then I have a few other reading goals on my radar which are in my Notion, and I totally stole them from my sister because she created the pretty Notion, and then I took it and edited it and made it my own. So the other goal I have is to read 3 books from my 24 of 2024 list, and I still have quite a few books on there that I've not got to yet, so I think I might mood read those rather than pick them to put in my TBR because they're all very different. The books I have left are Educated, Everything I Know About Love, For Lucy, Forging Silver Flames, Her Soul to Take, Love Redesigned, Mary Jane, The Natural History of Dragons, Truly Devious, and Uncultured. So I have 10 left, and it's September, so I really need to get through them. I would be actually quite happy if I only read 2 this month, but I'll aim for 3. We'll aim higher than what we'd be happy with, because then if we achieve greatness, we are great. And then the other reading goal I have is a book in a series that I'm already reading. So let's actually pick that now. So luckily I have a Goodreads shelf that has series to finish on it, and sometimes I tip it by the last or oldest series, so that will force me to have to read it, I guess. I've just seen it, and it's A Light in the Flame, Flesh and Fire book 2. The reason I'm hesitant about this, it's 650 pages long. There are now 2 more books out in the series, therefore I have 3 to read. Oh, I'm not sure about that one. A Light in the Flame. What other ones do we have? I feel like doing a novella is cheating, even though book 2 is coming out this month. I could go for Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I got about 18% through that, and I was actually really enjoying it, but for some reason I never picked it up again. I think I'm going to add A Light in the Flame to my TBR as a series to finish, or read a book from a series I need to finish. I guess could be the same vibe. So we will add that to our September TBR. Oh my god. I have it on audio and it is over 30 hours to listen to, but fingers crossed I can get there. So that brings us to 5 books. Maybe I'll go for, in my want to read, maybe the oldest book that's in there that's not a series, which I think, it's Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. I think it's actually the last book that I want to read of Colleen Hoover. I don't think I have any other books that I want to read from her backlog, so maybe that would be quite good. I haven't read all of them. I've not read all of her books, but I think, what is this one about? Okay, I'm not doing that one. I'm not feeling it, and I don't want to lose my motivation. However, the second book in here is actually a book on my 24 of 2024. So I'm gonna add Truly Devious because that will kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and I love that. This is a YA fantasy novel or mystery, maybe? Mystery thriller. Ooh. I'm actually quite excited for this. My sister absolutely loved it and she's been asking me to read it for so long. Standard. Hopefully I get to that one. That is 7 books, so let's add one more just to wrap it up. Even though 7 is one of my favorite numbers, I love even numbers more. What are we gonna do? Let's flip it to what I've added to my TBR recently, because you know I love a new book. Ooh, I could go for Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. I think I'm tossing up between, oh my god, I've completely forgotten about the new releases. But like, is it inevitable that I'll get to those anyway? So then maybe I shouldn't add them to my TBR and I should add something that's actually old on my TBR to my list. This is the conflict I have every single month. Okay, my September releases I have. The options are Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver, which is releasing early in the month. Very early, as in tomorrow right now for me. The next one is Pucking Sweet, which is the 3rd book in the Jacksonville Rays series by Emily Rath, and I love this. However, it is very long, 576 pages, and it's releasing in the 24th of September. That one might be out just because I might not get much time. Ooh, Counting Miracles is also releasing towards the end of the month on the same day as Pucking Sweet. Counting Miracles is the Nicholas Sparks release for this year and I am so excited for it, but I think I'm gonna add Wild Eyes because I am absolutely so excited for that book. I loved the first one, not as much as the Chestnut Spring series, but I feel like I will like Wes a lot more than the other characters for some reason. I just think he's really cheeky and fun, so I love reading characters like that. Alright, that is my TBR for the month. Let's wrap it up. So we have our 3 Grimoire Book Club books, which are Catch-22 or Kissed by the Krampus, depending on how that goes for Cass. Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. Did I say Shelley earlier? Whoops. And The Woman by Kristen Hanna. We have the Sister September Swap, which is The Awakening, book 1 in the Zodiac Academy. Then I picked a series I need to finish, which we've gone for A Light in the Flame, which is the 2nd book in the Flesh and Fire series. So hopefully I can get to that and it will motivate me to read the other 2 books that are out. Then I flipped my TBR and picked the oldest book on there, as in the one I added some time ago. We skipped over Regretting You, and we've gone for Truly Devious because it's also on my 24 of 2024. We have Daydream, forgot about that one. I started reading that on the 1st of September. And we also have a new release that is coming out tomorrow, real time for me right now, Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. So hopefully I can get through my TBR. Hopefully I won't be having to do a video of can I fit my TBR in the last 5 days of September, because it is stressful. Luckily, I do try to get the Grimoire Book Club's books out of the way at the beginning of the month because I hate letting people down and I don't want to fail the book club. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what books are on your TBR or a book you're really excited to release this month, because I only have 3 on my radar and I feel as though this is incorrect. So let me know if there are any other books that I've missed that are coming out that you're so excited for, and I will keep an eye out for them. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!